being seen as the best coach in your market will not get you more clients. This will. See, here's the problem right now. What's happening in the coaching space is this. All coaches in every coaching niche is trying to be better, right? I'm trying to be a better weight loss coach, a better mindset coach, a better business coach, a better this coach, a better that coach. Because if you're better, if you have more testimonials, if you have more success, if you have more social proof, guess what? Theoretically, people in your coaching niche are going to choose you. And they're going to be like, oh, that person looks like the best that I should work with. Now, here's the problem with this. It doesn't work anymore, and there is a better way, okay? Because why is it not working? The reason why it's not working is because there's thousands of coaches in every coaching niche right now. It's full. You might feel like you're super unique, but every market is full of coaches. So by just trying to prove to the world that you're just better isn't working. So what is the secret to fixing this? This all changed in the summer of about 2024 when the market just hit this kind of pinnacle where it just started to go out of control, and we have this recession. It's called a trust recession. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. So here's what you have to do. I'm from Canada, as you know, and you can probably tell. I live in Vegas, right? I moved here into it's 5 years ago now. And one of the number one hotels really in Vegas, and one of the best hotels in the world is the Wynn and Encore. Okay, if you've ever been to Vegas, they're beautiful hotels. And what happens is the Wynn is incredibly unique and different. Well, right around 5 or 6 years ago, Resorts World International built a hotel pretty much across the street and a little bit up from the Wynn, and almost identical. In fact, they got in trouble. They had to change their designs because it looked like the Wynn. And they basically said, we're going to be a better version of the Wynn, in my opinion. Well, if you look now, it's a disaster. The place is empty. They got free parking. The costs are super cheap to stay there. Like, it's a mess. Supposedly, they're losing a ton of money. I don't know, but that's what I hear. But if you go to the Wynn, it's packed. It's busy. You go to this place, nothing. And yet, they tried to be a better option. So what is the secret to all this? Here's the secret. Your coaching prospects are looking for somebody who's different, not better. Okay? If you look at the age-old example of the PC versus the Mac, why did the Mac work when all these PCs are competing with each other? It's different, right? And so the same thing here. Let me give you another example, and then I'm going to explain to you how to fix this, okay? Another example is this. There is a minor league baseball team, the Savannah Bananas, and they could not make any money when the husband and wife bought it. They just couldn't compete, right? Nobody wants to watch minor league baseball at scale. They couldn't fill their stands. It was really tough. So what did they do? Instead of just trying to be a better minor league team and become better and all this kind of stuff, they chose to be different. And they created this thing called Banana Ball, okay? And if you've ever seen it, it's crazy. It's baseball, it's minor league baseball, but it's like different rules, and they're packing stadiums everywhere. They have millions of followers online. It is massive, like huge. They've created a whole league now. They've got multiple teams in their Banana Ball League. It is incredible. I don't follow baseball, and I watch all their stuff on social media. It's incredible. And what did they do? They became different, okay? So what do we got to do? First thing you need to do is you need to realize the market has shifted. Nobody's looking for better. It's like they're not looking for a better life coach, a better health coach, a better relationship coach. Your stuff has to be seen completely different. People are no longer motivated to work with somebody who's better. They need somebody who's completely different. Now, the question is, what do you do? Well, for example, what we do is our stuff is totally different. We help people with what we call a mini celebrity status ecosystem. It is completely different and unique, okay? And so that's what we do. And so what we've got to do is figure out, why are you completely different versus better? What makes you completely different than everybody else that's unique, that people go, oh my gosh, they are completely different, versus, oh, they just seem like another weight loss coach, another health coach, another mindset coach. Do you see what I'm doing here? Because here's what happened. Up until about 2024, you could just position yourself as better. I got more books. I got more credibility. I got more clients. I got more of this. But the thing is now is there's so much of that your ideal client doesn't know who to believe. Okay. Now, here's what you have to do. There's three things that we have to do to actually get this fixed. Okay. You can't just put on an ad that I'm different. Look at me. Nobody cares, right? It has to be a unique selling proposition of a unique USP. Okay. What makes you unique and what makes you different? Then we have to syndicate it out three ways. Okay. We have to have, I call it the 3 M's: multiple touch points, multiple hours, and multiple platforms. So it's the 3M strategy: multiple platforms, multiple hours, and multiple touch points. Okay. So here's the problem that coaches are having. Right now, what a lot of coaches are doing is they're saying, they'll say, I can read some people's minds. They're like, oh, Jason, okay, on my ad, I'm going to put why I'm unique. Okay, but that's like 1% of it. Okay, you got to realize that model doesn't work. Ads work, obviously. I spend tons of money on ads, but just telling the world you're unique, they don't care. So here's what we have to do. We have to make you unique so that you are seen as completely different. Remember, Win versus Resorts World, Banana Ball versus Major Leagues, Mac computers or Apple computers or whatever versus all the rest, right? Like all the rest are still fighting when there's Apple, okay? And then you see what we have is we have what's called, like I said, we use a mini celebrity status ecosystem versus funnels. Okay, the funnel people can compete all day. The reality is funnels aren't working like they used to. So we have to hook in the 3 M's, okay? Multiple platforms, multiple hours, and multiple touch points. Let's talk about this, okay? So that's based on a giant Google study of what Google said you need to have. So here's how this needs to work. We need to get people into an ecosystem, not a funnel, okay? And then we have to hook them across multiple platforms, which is not that complicated. And then we have to give them certain types of content so they can consume it. And then the third part which is the multiple touch points. And then what we use is special ads to get them seen across multiple touch points. And then what this does altogether is it reinforces the fact that you are unique, okay? Just telling them on an ad, they don't care. It's too soon in the relationship. It helps, but we need all these other strategies. And what coaches are doing is they're creating a book, they're creating a new webinar, they're creating a 3-day challenge, they're creating some kind of new $2 thing they can sell and upsell people and all that kind of stuff. And the problem is that's not working because everybody's doing it. So in order to make you seen as the most unique option, we got to ask ourselves, why would somebody work with you versus anybody else? Number one, what makes you that Win Encore versus at Resorts World International, or all those other examples I gave you? And how can we syndicate this through an automated system using the 3M strategy: multiple platforms, multiple hours, and multiple touch points? Because the more people see that, now they trust you. Once they trust you, they go, oh, that person is completely different. I need to work with them. Does this make sense? The old way of doing this was run an ad or go to a free social media post or something like that. Or one of the popular strategies right now that's not working is you go on LinkedIn, you connect with somebody, you direct message them, tell them, hey, I've got this thing, let's chat, let's do the thing. Like, that stopped working years ago. I've got 9,000 plus connections on LinkedIn, and we used to do that in like 2018. I stopped in 2019 because that strategy didn't work. Those processes are too linear, and people are not understanding your uniqueness enough. So what we need to do is we need to, first of all, get that uniqueness down so they're like, that person is completely different than the rest of these 5,000 options. And oh, by the way, I feel like I trust them. I want to work with them. oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. Now I will book a call to basically figure out how I can give that person money. Does that make sense? So it's not one thing, it's hooking everything together through what we call our mini celebrity status ecosystem. So here's what I want to help you with. I want to give you a free call. There's nothing to buy. It's going to be 15 minutes, and we're going to help you map this out. Figure out how can you be completely different so you're not fighting for scraps amongst the other thousands of coaches out there, because your stuff might be unique, but if nobody knows about it or thinks it is, it's not going to scale. And we're going to show you how you can implement it using our mini celebrity status ecosystem. We're going to map it all out for you, and then you're welcome to just go do it. If you want help doing that, we can maybe talk about how can do that maybe on another call. But there's nothing to buy. There's nothing for sale. And the job of this call is to help you fix this, because I'm telling you right now, we are on borrowed time. Okay, ChatGPT is destroying the coaching industry as you know it, because ChatGPT can create content like crazy. People are using it to create their courses, their coaching programs, and it's just flooding the coaching niche, or the coaching markets per se, with content and ideas and strategies. And coaches who have no idea what they're doing are basically going to ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT how to write ads, asking ChatGPT what should I do for content, and what should my course look like, and what makes me unique. And it's just completely eroding the coaching niche, because so many thousands of people are doing this, right? And so you can't compete with all that anymore. We have to make you different. Remember, Win Encore versus at Resort World International, right? The banana ball versus Major League Baseball. You can't compete. They can't compete with Major League Baseball, but they became unique. Same with what's happening right now with the National Football League. You see these spring leagues now that are coming up that the Rock, Dwayne Johnson's a part of, and all this kind of stuff. They're just floundering. Last year, the attendance was terrible. Why? They're just a different option other than the NFL in March. And people are like, well, I watch college basketball in March, and why would I want to watch this? It's just a lower version of the NFL. You see what I'm doing? So they're struggling because they can't compete, because they're just more of the same but not as good. And if you're not like the best, if you're not John Maxwell in the business coaching market, well, how are you going to compete with John Maxwell or a Bob Proctor, or you name the coach? How are you going to compete with them by just testimonials and books and all that kind of stuff? You can't. We have to have you positioned as completely different, so they're like, well, I guess I could work with those people, but oh my gosh, this person is completely different. And when we hook in the 3 M's, right, the multiple platforms, the multiple hours, and the multiple touch points, automate the process using what we call our mini celebrity status ecosystem. It automates all that. And so then they come out the other end, booking a call with you going, how do I work with you? This stuff is really amazing. I really need it. What does that look like? And how can I give you money? Okay. That's how you go from having a sales call to an enrollment call. Totally different. Sales calls are, who are you? Okay. Yeah. I watched your thing. I can't remember it exactly, but tell me again what you what's different about what you think? Oh, well, I'm the best at this, and I've lost all this weight, and I'm a mindset this. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. Well, do you need that? Oh, yeah, I totally need that. Okay. And then they're like, well, how much is it? And you're like, oh, it's $4,000 for my coaching, and it's a year, and then I got all this, and I got all that. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll think about that. All right. Oh, well, and then you pull out your ejection whack-a-mole scripts, and you're like, pound them with this, and we'll split this, and we'll do this. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll think about that. In the meantime, they got 6 calls booked with other people. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? And so you're competing without even knowing it, because people are just getting on calls. They're trying to be nice. They're trying to be polite, but they're not going to tell you. They're not going to show all their cards, right? And so in their mind, they're like, well, I've already done this. I've already tried this on ChatGPT. I've already done all this. Why would I work with you? And so now you're competing with all this erosion of other options, and you're talking to these people, And now you're selling, and it's getting harder to sell because you're like, well, maybe I got to split it up more. Maybe I need guarantees, and maybe I need this, and maybe, I'm going to work with them until they lose all this weight, all this kind of stuff. In the meantime, that's exhausting, but here's the problem. It's continuing to get worse. So you need to be as totally different, not better, all right? And then once you're seen as totally different, then we hook in those 3 M's within the within the mini celebrity status ecosystem. It automates it all. It gets people to the place where they're like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. How do I work with you? And how much is the investment? You're like, well, it's 10K, 15K. They're like, okay, that makes sense. All right, I can totally see it. Let's do it. And that's how you get those clients. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Click the link below, book that free call, nothing to buy. That's why it's only 15 minutes. So we can really work with you on it and really help you, show you how that 3M strategy works within the client, within the mini celebrity status ecosystem, and give you some feedback on how you can be seen as totally different, how you can position yourself against the market so you're not having to sell, but you can just get people who want to buy. Your ads will work better. People will want to reach out to you. You can charge more. It's just, life's a lot easier. And then you just create your own little world where you funnel people in and they want to work with you. That's what's happening right now, and that's the future. And you can let everybody else fight for scraps, okay? Book that call. We'll help you out. And make sure you're seen as different, not better.